True Crime with Eve.
Warning, strong language ahead and graphic content. This bitch, Ruby Franke. Let's get into it. Those who don't know about this case, Kevin and Ruby Franke ran a YouTube channel with their 6 children called The 8 Passengers, which had tons of followers, but there were some critics who basically pinpointed out some questionable behavior due to this bitch and her husband's cult-like behavior and religious beliefs and the way that she was treating her children. Now in comes this bitch, Jodi Hildebrandt, founder of Connections Classroom, who is a certified mental fitness trainer with an LDS background. Now she became connected as a business partner to Ruby Franke, probably because of those dollar bills, regarding the YouTube channel. But to everyone's horror,
911, the address of your emergency. Okay, and the phone number you're calling from. Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty. And he asked us to call the police. So he's very afraid. He's 12 years old. Yes.
Okay, and are the neighbors out of their home, or is anybody looking for them that you can see?
No, our homes are far enough away. I'm not sure. How did you get out of the house?
Porch. He went out.
He said he just left through the porch at the neighbor's house. Her name is Jodi Hildebrandt, and she lives 2 doors up the street. Yeah, out in Cayenne, the houses are far apart, so he walked just under the block to get to our house. He rang my doorbell and asked me to call the police.
Does he seem to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I don't think so, but he's very thirsty. And
Need an ambulance?
I don't think he needs an ambulance. I'll let the cops decide that, but his ankles are taped up, and he won't tell us why.
Okay.
But he has duct tape around each ankle. Yeah, there's sores around him. I think there's a good chance he's been... and he has been around his ankles. I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been... This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Okay. Let's get the paramedics headed over that way, okay?
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
on August 30th, 2023, the Public Safety Director, Chief Robert Flowers from Santa Clara Ivins Public Safety Department, said that these 2 bitches were arrested for child abuse. Now, let's go into the most recent court hearing where this bitch, Ruby Franke, takes a plea deal where she pleads guilty to 4 of the 6 second-degree felony child abuse charges in exchange to throw her ex-business partner, Jodi, under the bus.
Mr. Winward, we ready to proceed?
We are ready to proceed.
All right, then. Ms. Franke, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret
Bitch.
and sorrow for my family and my children. Guilty.
So these 2 bitches deserve everything that's coming to them. But I want you to hear the abuse because it's important to know exactly why I feel religious backgrounds such as the Mormon faith and others have a huge role in why this neglect is not reported earlier and just allowing it to continue. The defendant's actions involved the physical torture of RF. Initially, RF was forced to do physical tasks for hours and days at a time. This included wall sits, carrying boxes full of books up and down stairs, and working outside. Eventually, RF was forced to do outside labor without shoes in the summer heat. He was forced to stand in the direct sunlight for several days and forced to remain outside at all hours of the day and night for extended periods of time. These actions resulted in repeated and serious sunburns with blistered and sloughing skin. He was denied water for several of the days he was required to remain in the summer heat and punished when he secretly consumed water. He was denied sufficient food, and when given the food, he was given very plain meals, such as rice and chicken, while others in the house ate regular and more flavorful meals. He was isolated from other people and denied all forms of entertainment, including books, notebooks, and electronics. In addition, after RF attempted to run away in July, his hands and feet were regularly bound. Binding included being tied to the defendant and to weights. Many times, the binding included using 2 sets of handcuffs together so that his arms and lower legs were lifted off the ground The bindings resulted in injuries to his wrists and ankles where the handcuffs cut through the skin and damaged the muscle and tissue. These injuries were treated with homeopathic remedies and covered with duct tape. Then the bindings were placed on top of the duct tape. It goes on to say that there was other abuse, like holding the hand over RF's mouth and nose to withhold oxygen, kicking him with boots, and holding his head underwater. The same or similar abuse was happening to the sibling EF. What was the reason, you ask, for why these children went through such horrific abuse?
And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.
Birdie. You don't like Eve, do you?
You want an argument or an answer?
An answer.
No.
Why not?
Now you want an argument.